hey, what in the hell is going on with the face and the ears? And what happened to the thing? I don't know anymore. I don't even know how to say hi anymore. I don't care. Hey, thanks for checking out my YouTube channel, free, almost daily videos that you can check out for free. Subscribe right now. More importantly, check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/NickDShow. A great way to support and help keep these videos coming. You'll get bonus content, including behind-the-scenes stuff and some stories about radio and what's going on at WGN and what's happened at WGN. I will give you my thoughts and my story, but you got to become a patron to do that, so donate. 3, 6, 25 bucks a month, whatever you want to do. Pick a tier, donate. It helps a lot, keeps me going. And so go to patreon.com/NickDShow. Donate today. My podcast is up every Tuesday and Friday. New episodes, the Nick D podcast on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Okay, it's Oscar week. So I'm just going to jump right to Best Picture. A couple of quick things before I get to it. We have 10 nominees for Best Picture, and they expanded the nominations from 5 to 9 or 10 or 8 to 10 every year in an effort to, this was like in 2009, I think they started this, because everybody thought that The Dark Knight got snubbed for Best Picture, even though it's a movie that doesn't deserve Best anything. But for some reason, people thought, okay, well, we'll add more movies because people were really pissed off that The Dark Knight didn't get nominated for Best Picture, even though it didn't deserve it. But let's do that. So they added that, and also to increase the possible box office of movies. It was done in order because a lot of people are completists. A lot of people right now, I see them on my Facebook page, where a lot of people are trying to see all the movies that are nominated for Best Picture. A lot of people like to do that. They try to see all the movies and the performances and all that stuff, so that Sunday night they're ready and they will have seen everything and they will have a valid opinion on what should and should not win in their opinion. And that's a cool thing. But that's another reason why the Academy went from 5 nominees, which they did for decades, to 8, 9, or 10, or whatever they feel like nominating, because they also wanted to improve box office and get people to go to more movies. So, anyway, there's 10 nominees. Let me quickly say this. The show is going to be Sunday, and every time I read more about the show, the more pissed off I get. They cut out 8 categories that they are not going to include in the live broadcast, including editing and sound editing, sound makeup and hairstyling, and really important things. 8 categories that actually go into making a movie are not being honored live on television, so that they can make more room for fucking Beyonce. Beyonce. God, do I hate Beyonce. Anyway, don't let me get started on Beyonce and how I don't know what sort of magical spell she has over people into making her think she's like the greatest and most important artist of all time, when in fact she, at best, is an okay dancer and not a real good singer. I don't know. Anyway, but they got to make room for Beyonce. Editing doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to making good movies. Let's not honor that. Let's bring Beyonce in. I know they're trying to get more ratings and stuff like that, but really, are Beyonce fans, are they interested in sitting through 3.5 hours of film awards just to see Beyonce do a 5-minute song? Maybe they are. I don't know. If they are, God bless them. But anyway, it's one of those stupid decisions. And also, they went from no hosts to 3 hosts now, because last year the ratings were at an all-time low. It was done during a pandemic. It was a very weird show. They did Best Actor after Best Picture because they thought Chadwick Boseman was going to win. It was going to be the big emotional moment of the night, and then Anthony Hopkins ends up winning. He's not even there, so it's like the most anticlimactic ending to a television, broadcast that was depressing and boring and bad in the first place. So they're trying to do everything they can to try and make it better. Let's cut these 8 categories. It'll shorten the show. Let's bring in Beyonce. That'll make everybody happy except for Nick, who hates Beyonce. And it's also a stupid decision. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's bring in, instead of no hosts, let's bring in 3 hosts. I don't know. I think it's a bad decision, especially because one of the hosts is Amy Schumer, who is, without question, one of the most annoying and unfunny women on the planet. And without question, one of the largest joke stealers. She and Mike Myers should hang out together. Do a little Google search on Amy Schumer and her material. Okay? Just do a search. Just type in on your little Google machine, Amy Schumer joke thief, and then watch the footage. It's astonishing how much material over the years she is completely ripped off from other comedians and better comedians. You know? And, you know, the stand-up world is predominantly dominated, unfortunately, by men. And it has been for many years. You can ask my friend Patty Vasquez about how difficult it is and what kind of barriers are put up for women who try to break into the very male, dick joke-oriented world of stand-up. And it doesn't make it much easier when another woman in stand-up steals from another bunch of women. And that's exactly what Amy Schumer does. You know, it's tough enough for women to do stand-up. It makes it even more difficult when a woman comedian rips off other women comedian. And that's what Amy Schumer does. She's a joke thief. She's not funny. She's annoying. Fuck Trainwreck and that movie where she and Goldie Hawn are running around. She's not funny. There were a few segments of the Amy Schumer show on Comedy Central that were kind of funny, but that's about it. Otherwise, not funny, and I think will be horrible. And I hope that of the three women who are the hosts, she gets the least airtime. Don't think that's going to be the case. But hiring Amy Schumer does not make the Oscars better. Getting rid of 8 categories that are important does not make the Oscars better. Making more airtime for Beyonce does not make the Oscars better. Just give out the fucking awards. Give out the awards. Fuck the hosts, the musical numbers, all that garbage. Give out the awards. That's what I want to see. You're honoring the best of the year. And, you know, it's even makes it more difficult is 95% of the time the Academy Awards are not given to the best of the year. So in addition to the awards being given to the wrong people, like Will Smith, who's going to win Best Actor this weekend and doesn't deserve it in the least, but in addition to giving awards to movies and performers that don't deserve it, you've got them making idiotic decisions about what should be in the broadcast. So anyway, it's going to be a ridiculous broadcast, whatever. But I'll watch it. I watch it every year. You know what? It's my right to watch it and bitch about it, and that's what I do. Why do you watch it every year? Because I'm a fucking film critic, and I'm a film fan, and I've been a movie critic for over 35 years, and I've been covering the movies, reviewing them, and covering the Academy Awards for that long. So I have a right to bitch if I want to. So why are you even bitching about it? You don't want to win. Why are you watching it? Well, it's my job, 1. And 2, I'm a moviegoer. I spend money at the movies, at the theater, to see movies. I should be able to watch the show and complain about it. So here are the top nominees for Best Picture. Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. Now, of those 10, the ones that I don't like are Belfast, Don't Look Up, which is just an unspeakably bad movie, King Richard, which is also a bad film, and that's it. The other ones I like to varying degrees. It's going to be, I will say this though, it will be interesting because nobody really knows what's going to win. For a long time, everybody thought Power of the Dog was going to win and that it was a lock. But recently, Coda has been sneaking in there. It's an audience favorite. People love the movie. I like Coda. I think Coda's a good film. I don't think it's Best Picture material. It's groundbreaking in terms of how it handles the subject of being deaf and having hearing children. And it's also groundbreaking in the use of great actors who just happen to not be able to hear, deaf actors. And in that regard, it's great. And it is a crowd pleaser. People love it. And it's good. It's a solid movie. Not Best Picture material by any stretch of the imagination, but solid. And I liked it. I liked it very much. Belfast, on the other hand, is a manipulative piece of shit. Kenneth Branagh couldn't direct traffic. If he was given flashlights and reflective gear, he could not direct traffic. He's a lousy director who's made tons of lousy movies, and this is a movie that I just it's like you remember the movie Roma. You remember how great Roma was? This beautiful black and white sort of autobiographical film from a director about his childhood in a different world, in a different country. You remember that movie, black and white, beautiful piece, memory piece? Remember that movie? Okay, well, this movie is trying to do that, only it sucks. So it's Roma, only shit. So fuck Belfast. Terrible movie. Don't Look Up, unspeakable. I'm not even going to get into it. If you watch these videos, you know how much I hate Adam McKay, and you know how much I hate Don't Look Up. And the fact that Don't Look Up is considered one of the 10 best films of the year by the Academy proves how stupid and clueless the Academy is, because Don't Look Up is a piece of shit. King David, another terrible movie, made for TV-ish movie where the story of two legends, two women legends in the world of tennis is hijacked by an egomaniacal Hollywood movie star, and he's going to get rewarded for it. Bad movie, and I really don't think it does justice to the story that Venus and Serena should have been, how that story should have been told. It shouldn't have been told through the guise of Will Smith. It shouldn't have been a Will Smith vehicle, which is what it is. And it's not a good one, but the asshole's going to win Best Actor. So the ones that I really like, I love West Side Story. I think it's great. Beautiful directing. I think it's better than the 1961 original. It took so many years for Spielberg to finally make a full-on musical, but he did it beautifully. And I love it. Nightmare Alley, my favorite Guillermo del Toro movie of all time. It gets better with each viewing. I've seen it 4 times now, once in beautiful black and white and 35mm print at the Music Box. It's the best movie Guillermo del Toro's ever made. It's an incredible piece of film noir. An all-star cast doing the best work they've ever done. Best performance of Bradley Cooper's career. He didn't get nominated at all, and yet Will Smith is going to win Best Actor. Bradley Cooper didn't get nominated for an astonishing performance in Nightmare Alley, but Will Smith is going to win. But yeah, Nightmare Alley, incredible movie, one of my favorites of the year. Dune, I loved Dune. I happen to be a Dune freak. I love the books. I've seen the movie several times. Saw it 5 times in the theater, a couple times on HBO now. The adaptation is beautiful. It's amazing. Denis Villeneuve did what no other filmmaker, even David Lynch, couldn't do. He adapted what was an unadaptable book to film. It's interesting because it's up for a bunch of awards, but I think, like Lord of the Rings, it shouldn't be awarded until Part 2 comes out, and that's going to be the year after next. It'll do that. So give Denis the award then, at least fucking nominate him for Best Director, which they didn't do. Give him the Screenplay Award then and the Picture Award then, when the whole film is together, when Part 1 and Part 2 are together. But Dune, the first half of that book, the movie, great. One of the very best movies of the year. An incredible accomplishment based on a book that I didn't think they could make a great movie out of, and they did. Not only did they not only did they equal my expectations, but they fully exceeded them. Dune is a great film. Let's see, what else? And then there is Licorice Pizza, which was my second favorite movie of the year. Paul Thomas Anderson's wonderful nostalgia piece. A lot of people are like, oh God, the age difference between the two characters is really freaky. No, it's not. It's not, especially in the way that it's handled in the movie. Fucking lighten up. Also, it was the 70s when things like that were much more known and much more accepted. You remember when the movie takes place. Try to remember that. And also, everybody's bitching and moaning about the scenes with John Michael Higgins, where he plays this clueless, relatively xenophobic and racist guy who's married to Japanese women. And there are scenes that are very uncomfortable to watch. Yet everybody's like, oh, those scenes are racist. No, they're not. The guy's racist. The character is racist. You're able to make movies about racist people without the movie being racist. Some people don't realize that's a possibility, and the people who are bitching about those scenes, you don't know what you're talking about. You're dumb. Licorice Pizza is a beautiful movie. Paul Thomas Anderson is incapable of making movies that aren't great. Every single movie that Paul Thomas Anderson has made is 4 stars, is great. He's a master filmmaker, my favorite filmmaker alive right now. And Licorice Pizza is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. So fuck off. If you have any problems with it, oh God, he's 16, she's 25. Fuck off. It's great. It rules. It's one of the best movies of the year. The second best movie of the year. I thought it would be the best movie of the year until I saw Drive My Car. And Power of the Dog, amazing film. Fuck Sam Elliott. Jane Campion, an amazing director who should and I think will win Best Director this year. She should have won it in '93 for The Piano instead of fucking Spielberg for Schindler's List. I don't want to get into that. Jane Campion is one of the greatest filmmakers alive. She's made some incredible films: Sweetie, Angel at My Table, Portrait of a Lady, In the Cut. And The Piano. It just goes on and on and on. The Piano is one of the greatest films ever made. And she so deserved the Academy Award in '93 instead of fucking Spielberg. I don't even want to get into it. She's up against Spielberg again. And boy, would that be ironic and horrible if Spielberg won over her this year. But anyway, Power of the Dog is a great film. Benedict Cumberbatch is incredible, and everybody in it is incredible. It's a really interesting take on what the Western is, the mythology, what it is to be a cowboy, an exploration of sexuality and an exploration of that world at that time. It's a great film, beautifully shot, lots of stuff going on, deep, significant, scary, incredible movie with a twisting end that just shocks everybody. It's a great film. Power of the Dog is a great film. All the naysayers out there, fuck off. You don't know what you're talking about. But the best movie of last year, and the best movie in this list by far, is Drive My Car. I've done a whole video about this movie. It completely blew me away. It's available on HBO Max right now. You should watch it if you've not seen Drive My Car. An incredible film about relationships, about dealing with life, about dealing with death. It is an interpretation of Uncle Vanya even that comes into it. It's an incredible film, a very quiet movie. It's 3 hours long, and there's not a wasted moment in it. It's a 3-hour movie that does not have one frame that's wasted. Doesn't feel long. The acting is incredible. It's an important movie. It's, in fact, one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Drive My Car. By far the best movie of the 10 that are nominated. Seriously, no other movie even comes close. It won't win, and I'm hoping that it wins Best International Feature. Hamaguchi got nominated for Director. It's an incredible movie, an incredible adaptation of a short story that actually improves upon a great short story. It's a flawless movie. It's a masterpiece. It's seriously one of my favorite movies that I've ever seen, and nothing on this list or the nominees even comes close in quality to Drive My Car. Drive My Car is on a whole nother level. It won't win. I do think The Power of the Dog is still going to win, but Coda might sneak in there. So those are your 10 nominees. Belfast, Don't Look Up, and King Richard are the ones that have no business being nominated for anything but Razzies. Especially Don't Look Up. Jesus Christ. And the other ones are good in varying degrees. But Drive My Car is the best of the lot. I do think that The Power of the Dog is going to win it, but Coda could sneak in there. Could be the big surprise. It's the emotional one that everybody... It'll be... Listen, if it wins, whatever. It's the Academy Awards. Audiences really love the movie. They're responding to it. It's a good film, too. So, there you go. I still think Power of the Dog is going to win. But Coda could be the upset. So, there you go. 10 nominees. If you're a completist and you haven't seen Drive My Car, see it. So, anyway, Academy Awards, they're handed out on Sunday night. I will be watching the red carpet and all the stupidity, and I'll be bitching and moaning about it on Monday. And because you know why? That's my right. As a film goer, as a film lover, as a professional film critic, and as someone who's been reviewing movies on the radio and in print and in the business for years, I watch it every year, and it's my right to bitch and moan about it, and that's what I just did, and I expect you to bitch and moan about it too. So, anyway, Academy Awards are coming up. It should be an interesting show to watch, and it's probably going to suck, but there you go. So, anyway, that's the Academy Awards, and I hope you have some good times watching it, and eat